I wanted to study the candidates and their program. I was fairly familiar with Mr. Atkinson's. I was not familiar with the program of Mr. Edmondson. He had sailed along without much opposition in this campaign, and I was not entirely familiar with what his program was. And I wanted to see, to make a little study, to be frank with you, as to what had happened in other states where they had one of these combination federal and state machines, like Wisconsin and Louisiana. And I checked on that, and my conclusion is that it's not a good thing to have a state operated by a federal-state combination political machine, sort of a twin-engine deal. You get into it in one election. Wisconsin got into it in about one election. Louisiana got into it in one or two elections. It took them a generation to get out of it.
By that you mean somebody in Congress and somebody in the governor's office from the same family.
That is correct.
Well, of course, I regret it. The Dean of the Senate, Senator Reinhardt, has served in the Senate longer, of course, than any other man in Oklahoma. And he has a wealth of experience in the state legislature, having served for so many years in the state capitol. I would have liked to have had his support. I'm sorry that he's gone the other way. I'm thankful of the fact that a good many, if not a vast majority, of his supporters in different counties around the state, including Oklahoma County and Canadian County, his own county, have come over to our side.
I have decided to support this enthusiastic, alert young man from Tulsa County because I believe that I can achieve for the people of Oklahoma the program that I had in my campaign for governor. This young man has, without equivocation, unhesitatingly announced his support for the program, the basic part of the program that I stand for. And so I will lend my support, my effort, and if they desire, I will be available to hit the stump and the radio and the television in support of their candidacy.
We welcome his support and appreciate it. We think that he can be quite helpful to us in this runoff.
How many of his supporters do you think will follow his lead?
Well, a number of them had already come to us before his announcement, but I'm certain that there were many who were holding back, waiting to see what the senator was going to do himself.
Well, of course, it came as quite a surprise because all of George's organization had already come with me.
All of it, sir?
Well, I'd say practically the entire organization. And they're going to stay with me, of course, 100%. So I have every confidence that I will have the benefit of practically all of the organization. And for that, of course, we are grateful. And I want to assure everyone that there's no ill will on my part toward George. But I did think that he would remain neutral based upon some statements that he had made only several days ago.
Been in constant contact with my office during this campaign and know how it's operating and have had control of it. I'm not a millionaire, as Mr. Atkinson is, therefore I can't finance this campaign completely by myself, but need the help of friends to do it.
Do you intend to resign?
No, I don't.
The motion which I have filed on behalf of the defendants Hugh A. Carroll and Julia L. Carroll are standard stock motions for a change of venue, alleging, as the statute requires, bias and prejudice of the examining magistrate, Otis James, against the defendants.
Is this some kind of a delaying tactic, sir?
No, sir, I don't consider it any particular delaying tactic at all. I considered that it was necessary to protect the rights of my client that I file such a motion, as provided by the law.
We've never had a request from Nichols Hills or anybody else to come in and pay us anything for driving over the streets or using any other utilities. But we do have a request for water. Now, if we're just going to be a standby and be the old grandfather to everybody, no, you'll never have a metropolitan area. If you're going to be too good to the people and just give them whatever they want regardless, and never let them pay their way.
Well, Mr. Mayor, you're going to have to get them someday by putting sugar in the coffee.
Well, I think we put enough sugar in there. Let's see a little cream come in. Now, what I'm saying is this. Why just supply them when they're in desperate need of the thing? Let's put a minimum on it and say, make whatever you want to, 60, 70 million gallons a year. Let them use all they want to out of that 67 million gallons a year. Or more if they want to use it. I'm for selling them water.
Jack,
But I don't want to sit here and give them 5 gallons when their lawn gets brown. And then whenever they green up, when they say, well, we don't want to buy anymore.
5 million a month.
Well, I think this is excellent evidence of the fact that the position that I've taken from the beginning on the question of prohibition and repeal is the most honest, the most reasonable, and also the most realistic. And that is the position that the people should be given the opportunity at a special election to have a clear-cut choice between enforced prohibition and repeal. Mr. Dunge's help has recognized this position also, and so have the supporters of Senator Moskowsky. I think further evidence of that fact is now seen in the fact that Mr. Atkinson has also now changed horses in the middle of the stream and adjusted his position to be as close as he can to mine.
Well, sir, do you believe this changing horses, as you refer to it, of Mr. Atkinson's will help or hinder him in his runoff campaign?
I don't think it ever hurts, or rather, I don't think it ever helps a candidate or a public official to be inconsistent. Neither do I think it helps him to change his convictions in order to win votes. And I think the $64 question in this campaign is what secret commitments Atkinson has made to Dr. Stanley Niles of the United Drives.
Well, I'm the only man left in the race that says that the governor should use all the powers in of his office to push through a petition, and after the petition is signed and certified, to really throw his feet for its passage. I believe that repeal is the only salvation for this state. In the second place, I have formulated a program that calls for municipal option for the sale of all liquor, including beer, in package stores. Now, that means a lot. That means that we're through with the beer tavern.
And those cities that vote down repeal would be clear of all liquor. But that is the difference between my program and any other program being offered by any man on either